Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here with Shadi Ghonim, who's the Managing Partner Development, and Saeed Ali, Managing Partner Sales and Marketing for Genovic Boutiques. Now, what's Genovic Boutiques? We're going to find out all about it. It actually is a hotel consulting firm that really specializes in the Middle East and Maldives and other places like that. And we wanted to get an idea of what's going on in hotel development even during this period, even during COVID. And it really is astounding. And there's some things you're going to find out about Saudi Arabia, Dubai, UAE, Maldives, places like that that you may not have known before. And you're going to find out about all that and more on Insider Travel Report. Now, first of all, Shadi and Saeed, tell us both Saeed, where are you right now?
I'm actually currently I'm in Cairo. I actually live in Saudi Arabia, but I'm actually on a short holiday to see my family, and I'm gonna go back to Saudi Arabia. I look after KSA market. I'm based in KSA in Saudi Arabia, actually in Jeddah. So I look after the entire actually GCC market, but I'm living in Saudi Arabia since almost 11 years. So, I'm gonna also be attending ATM, which is Arabian Travel Market, next week. So I'll be traveling from Cairo to Dubai. So I'm currently in Cairo.
Okay, and Shadi, where are you?
Always in Dubai, James. I'm based in Dubai, and I was always in Dubai. I look after the JCC also, but I was always based out of Dubai. I'm also going to be attending the ATM. From my role, actually, I look after the business development of the company. So I'm going to give you a quick brief of who we are. What Genovic does.
Let's talk about that. What is Genovic Boutiques?
Sure. Genovic Boutiques is obviously, the name came from Genovic is a Latin word. It means your trusted, credible tribe. We just removed the tribe word and put your trusted, credible partner, which matches obviously with the market and the boutique hotels that we represent. So boutique comes from the boutique hotels that we represent. The vision of the company is obviously to contract and represent in the Middle East the boutique hotels, lodges, luxury hotels, 5-star properties. We obviously aim to market in the Middle East. We are, as you introduced us, we are a hospitality consulting firm. We do marketing PR to the entire GCC. We cover the GCC in terms of Dubai, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, entire of Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, not just one city. We have several cities that we cover, which my partner Saeed, as he introduced himself, based in Saudi, he will look after such markets. We act like an extended arm to the sales and marketing team of the hotels. We work in parallel. It's not just we represent them, we just represent them and we suggest, we do partnership agreements, and a lot of we secure business for them, and we obviously position or reposition them in the market in terms of PR, marketing, sales, and so on.
Great. Now, tell us a little bit about your backgrounds in hotels, because both of you are experienced hoteliers. Saeed, let's start with you, and then we'll go to Shadi.
Yeah, I've actually started my role back in Dubai 2003 with Starwood Hotels and Resorts, where I actually used to look after the Le Méridien Mina Siyahi, and then later on I did the opening of Westin Mina Siyahi, which is a sister hotel to Le Méridien. Both the brand are actually part of Starwood Hotels and Resort. Okay. So I stayed in Dubai from 2003. I moved to Saudi Arabia 2011 with the Starwood Hotels and Resort, actually, where I actually used to look after the global office of Starwood in Saudi Arabia. Wow. So I worked with the Starwood almost for 14 years, but I actually decided to move after the marriage happened, and then I joined another global hotel representations, which is also based out of Dubai. So for a couple of years, and then I decided, Shad and I had a phone call together and decided to actually open our own company, which is Genovic Boutiques. So I'm actually almost 17 years in the hospitality and hotels company in the market, where I'm actually fully time based between Dubai and Saudi Arabia.
No, and Shadi, tell us a little bit about your background.
I obviously have in common company with Saeed where we met. Actually, I worked also at Starwood, but I started my career with the Hyatt Corporation as an events manager. Then I moved on to Dubai. That was in Cairo. Moved on to Dubai. I joined Jumeirah. I worked with the likes of FRHI, Raffles, Jumeirah, as I said, and also Starwood and Kempinski. And lately, obviously, my role was with the Langham Hospitality. I used to look after the Langham London, based out of Dubai, through obviously a company, also representation company, but I was obviously dedicated only to the Langham London. I worked with the Langham London for 2 years. Then as I said, when the pandemic started, we obviously a lot of challenges had taken place for the entire world. The hotel itself was closed for almost a year. So we just decided, me and Saeed, to open our own venture, which serves very well the market because we come from the same market. We come from hospitality. We basically understand what the hotel needs in terms of revenue, in terms of publicity, in terms of business. So we just decided to open our own venture, which is now almost completing 1 year. We opened last year in July.
Yes.
We started the company in March. The preparation, the paperwork, and everything, and then we got due to COVID. Obviously, there was a little bit of a delay, so we had the license approved on the 19th of July, and then ever since we started actually the venture, and now we're almost completing 1 year.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations. And doing this in a year of COVID is pretty astounding too. So
it is.
It's been interesting. Now, Saeed, given that your focus really on the Middle East and that area of the GCC countries, what can you tell us about all the major hotel developments going on today in Saudi Arabia? What is the country trying to create?
Yeah, I mean, Saudi Arabia actually is changing a lot, not only in terms of hospitality or as a tourist destinations. The Crown Prince MBS is changing a lot to have better Saudi for the people of Saudi Arabia. I'm living in Saudi Arabia since 2011. I have seen a lot of changes, positive changes actually about the country with the new project of such like NEOM, the Red Sea, the line, which actually was recently announced by His Excellence, His Royal Highness, Prince Mohammed bin Salman. So Saudi vision also, there is a Saudi vision which is 2030. They are trying to actually target to have 100 million tourist visitors between now till end of 2030. So 2030, which is the completions of the visions. So in the middle, there is a lot of changes between Riyadh, cities like NEOM, the Red Sea project, which is one of the actually luxury project in the Middle East. Right. So a lot of changes. They're building hotels. They're opening new airports. They're opening new destinations, which is actually NEOM is going to be one of their elite luxury destinations, which going to be competing with the destination like Maldives, like Greece in terms of luxury. They're building a lot of luxury hotels, and they're actually signing up big deals with such big brands like Four Seasons, right, like Mandarin, etc. So the country is changing completely.
And it's also open for tourism. I know right before COVID, we yes. saw the news that they were changing the visa requirements and making it a lot easier for
visa
travelers.
Is very easy now.
Yeah, and
it's online process.
Yeah, and welcoming travelers too. It used to be, oh no, we don't really want you, and Americans wouldn't go. But are they looking for Americans to come? Saeed?
Yeah, they're actually the relationship between USA and Saudi Arabia has been there for a long time.
Right.
There are a lot of investments going on between both the countries. So they're really targeting to link those relationship into investment into projects, and I see that's very, very successful between USA and Saudi Arabia.
Now, what in Saudi Arabia? What hotels? What brands are you starting to work with, or are you looking to work with for the boutiques?
For Genovic boutiques.
Currently, we don't have any hotels in Saudi Arabia, but this is one of our also goals to represent hotels inside Saudi Arabia, because we have the experience. We are there. We are based in the market for such long time. We know everybody in Saudi Arabia. Myself, I actually deal with a lot of royal families, especially from Al Saud families. So I have very great connections with Al Saud family. Most of my families, most of my customer comes from Al Saud family. So we are looking deeply into signing good deals with some of the hotels in Saudi Arabia. But we actually have very good hotels in our portfolio now. If you look into our website, you can see hotels in Greece, in Seychelles, in Maldives, and in Dominican, and also in other destinations. So we also, since we are based in Saudi Arabia, this is something of our thinking of to sign few deals inside Saudi Arabia.
So basically, your customers, Saudi Arabia, people from Saudi Arabia would go to these other hotels around the country.
Definitely, yes. So we would actually target, Saudi Arabia is a very key feeder market for our hotels when it comes for outbound business. As I mentioned, we have those hotels in a luxury destination like Maldives and Seychelles and in Indian Oceans overall. So most of our customers from Saudi Arabia are booking top luxury hotels, and which we have actually in our portfolio. So we take care of their travel plan. We do the accommodations. We help them into the agenda and what they can do in Maldives and Seychelles. We do the full program for them, not only the accommodations. We also help them into local visit, local attractions. That's of course with coordinations with our hotels. Okay. So we do take care of all the bookings process from the beginning till they check into the hotel.
Okay. Shadi, talk about a little bit, because you're based in Dubai, and what about, the growth has always been there in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and the kind of the rest of the UAE. Has this hotel growth slowed because of the pandemic, or has it kept pace? What's kind of new in terms of hotels in the UAE?
Well, as you know, Dubai, as they market, the marketing in Dubai is very strong as a destination. They have actually successfully managed to market Dubai very, very well. Yes, for sure, the pandemic it has affected everyone. It has slowed a little bit the investment in particular, because we have seen the last 3-4 years a huge investment into hotels in Dubai internationally. I mean, international brands has obviously craved to be in Dubai because it's such a touristic destination where the business is flowing. Very big airport. The second airport is coming, and there's a lot of events that are happening also that obviously brings all these business into action, such as you've got the air show, you've got the ATM, you've got obviously Expo, which has been in 2020 was supposed to take place, but unfortunately due to the pandemic it has been postponed. But all these actions that Dubai government has worked really hard to market and to put together investors to come and open hotels and obviously establish business for more than 1 year. And it's a long-term relationship between Dubai government and DTCM, obviously Dubai Tourism Authority, and the investors. Things has been very, very successful because Dubai has also managed to gather those investors. There was no restrictions or so much, like things were not super expensive. They were encouraging everybody to come, and obviously they were very, very successful. The growth will continue. You've got very soon the St. Regis on the Palm is opening up. The SLS also is a new baby born, which is part of Accor. There is a lot of hotels that are coming up. Dubai will not stop.
So there was a momentary pause, a little bit of but it just kept going, right?
Of course, more. We have seen it obviously in all the world, but obviously it's very popular. It's very obvious in Dubai because I would say the highlights were on Dubai. So now they have managed actually to I would say really the government has managed very, very well to obviously control the pandemic. Very, very well. It was in the very beginning, it was very challenging for everyone. And we had to quarantine for 24 hours for nearly 3 or 4 weeks, which was very, very depressing. But in all honesty, we didn't understand it in the very beginning. But after we have seen how much the pandemic was detained and controlled completely, you've got, I think, over 10 million has got their shots of the coronavirus, which is the vaccine, I mean, and also you have the choice, not only the Sinopharm, you have got so many. So they also managed to get you first, the Sinopharm, to get it to the elderly, to get it to those frontliners. And then they started by the residences, which is us. Then it was only Sinopharm, which was manufactured also in Abu Dhabi. Then when they had the abundance, they started bringing also other vaccines. So things, if you look into Dubai now as a tourist, you will be very, very safe to come here because things are very well maintained, very well controlled, and it's still, very, very secured country to do business or to obviously have a vacation.
Well, and also you mentioned something earlier about the upcoming Dubai World Expo, which was supposed to start last October, and now at this point is planned to start this coming October. Do you think that this
Correct.
is going to have a major effect on future hotel development, and also now? I mean, I suppose some of these there'll be more hotels that'll open around that time to serve all the people who want to come see the expo.
100%. I'm very confident that there's first of all, the expo is happening 2021. Hopefully, it's announced already and it's happening. It just got delayed, obviously, because of the coronavirus. But definitely, such exhibition, which will last for 6 months, which is an innovation, and it opens a lot of doors for a lot of investors. Now we've got Al Maktoum area where the airport will take place, which is the second. It's going to be larger than we have expected. Actually, it's going to be an international where all the flights will be obviously directed to the Al Maktoum area. If you visit Al Maktoum area now, you will only see development of hotels,
right?
And international brands, and also it's not far away from the city. It's just 20 minutes away from the city because you have also the highway. You have in Dubai, what the infrastructure of the roads are amazing because you've got always parallel ways. There's always parallel roads. There's always solution roads, highways. So you reach wherever your destination is in 20 minutes to 30 minutes max. This area will be a little bit congested.
And just up the highway, you have Abu Dhabi, right? So it's not that far.
And then you have Abu Dhabi, exactly. Right. So I believe it's going to be very, very, very successful, and it's such a great event. It's going to take really place, and we've heard already. There's a lot of hotels coming up.
Right. Well, let me turn to you, Saeed, and you can chime in later afterwards, Shadi. There's a lot of development still going on in the Maldives, and I know you represent some of the resorts out there. Tell us a little bit about that, why that continues so strongly.
I mean, Maldives actually for our market is one of the very luxury destination where I could consider in terms of Indian Oceans. Maldives comes number one of choice of our customer, especially from Saudi Arabia. We have already 2 luxury hotels in Maldives. Maldives developments overall is actually, they're doing great. They're opening a lot of hotels. There is a lot of brand into Maldives. Most of actually the luxury brands in Maldives are already existing in Maldives for many years.
Right.
There is also a lot of investment going on actually in Maldives. Lots of hotels has opened in the last couple of years. And if you look into the project also, during the pandemic, actually, some of the investment company, they actually started to look into Maldives to invest a lot of money because they know after the pandemic, this is going to be a choice for everybody post-pandemic because it's very secured, very safe in terms of also, destination like Maldives. It's very luxury, but it's very secured for people. It's not a city hotel. You don't go to London or Paris. So people are, when they book now the holidays, their first thing they're thinking of Maldives and Indian Ocean overall. So lots of developments going on in Maldives at the moment.
Now, and what are your clients out there? What are your hotels?
Yeah, we have actually 2 hotels now. Emerald Maldives, Emerald Spa and Resort is part of Emerald Collections. Emerald Collection is a group of hotels. They are opening up next year another hotels in Maldives, which we're also gonna to look after. And we also have Fanolho, which is actually, they just finished the renovations of 20 million. They invested $20 million just for the renovations. And we already started also to present Panolho started this actually this month.
Okay. No, it's amazing. I still want to get out there. It's amazing. Shadi, anything else to add to that in terms of Maldives?
Yeah, definitely. Well, first of all, of course, it's worth a visit nowadays because on the island, everybody has, when you visit Maldives, you need to have your PCR test, obviously negative. On the island, every single hotel has vaccinated their staff, which was to mention to everyone. So you are on the island, you're not wearing your mask because it's 100%. Everybody from the staff are vaccinated. So you get a little bit of a rest from the mask. Also, what I love about Maldives, since I looked after Maldives for 5 years, also for Starwood and Shangri-La, the diversity. It's affordable for everyone. You can obviously book a hotel where it's 3 stars, 4 stars, which is affordable. If your budget is $500, $300, you have a budget for Maldives to visit Maldives.
Really?
So this is what I love. That's what I love about Maldives. It's a very luxury destination. However, you still can find hotels where obviously according to your budget, you've got the 5 stars deluxe, you've got the very luxurious hotels, and then you've got the intermediate hotels, which is managing. You can manage your budget. It's an awesome thing, to be honest. If you want to visit and your budget is constrained, you can still go to Maldives.
Now, let's talk a little bit about growth in the Middle East. We've gotten through COVID. We have the upcoming Dubai Expo. Saeed, are we just going to keep seeing growth in all areas here in Saudi Arabia and in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, everywhere? I mean, is there a limit?
This is what I actually love about GCC. Well, as I told you, I'm living in GCC almost since 17 years between Dubai and Saudi Arabia, and their limit is up to the sky. What I had the pleasure actually to meet Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid. That was like almost 10 years ago when I used to look after the Western Dubai Mina Siyahi. So I just had met him, like to just say hello and thank you for what you're doing for Dubai, and his visions and the way he thinks about the developments in Dubai is actually so amazing. I mean, I have lived, I have traveled to many other destinations. I went to the US, to most of the destination in Europe. But I actually love the way UAE government or leaders thinking, because if you look into Dubai today and 20 years back, you cannot even imagine the work they have done in the country. So Saudi Arabia is actually stepping into that now. They started already.
Right.
The Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman is doing a great changes for Saudi Arabia. And if you ask anybody today in Saudi Arabia what your limit is, they say we don't have limits.
Well, they even have more funds, I think, behind them, believe it or not, than Dubai. So Saudi.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you, James. It's not just also about funds; it's about the vision. Now, as Saeed mentioned, Dubai. If you look at Dubai, not let's say like a rough of 20 years, and Saudi in 20 years. Saudi was a little bit, people were kind of concerned to go to Saudi because it was very conservative. It was tough. There's a lot of business there, not just business for hotels or hospitality. Everybody who wants really to grow up his business goes to Saudi because they are merchandisers. They do invest a lot. But it was it was a game of concerned whether we go or not because of a lot of rules, being also a holy place.
Right.
People were having complete different mindset. Now look at it. The Saudis are trying to follow the same steps of UAE, which is working very, very well for them now, because now you have entertainment in Saudi Arabia everywhere. You've got Neom, you've got Al-Wajh, Umluj, Al-Ula, a lot of destinations. If you go to this Neom, it's the Red Sea, part of the Red Sea. Neom is, if you see like some of the resorts there, looks typically like Maldives, you wouldn't believe.
Right.
But see, this comes from a very, very good leaders and very good vision. And as I said, there's no limits. Yes, the funds are there. Everybody was concerned a little bit to understand what is going on with the COVID. And then once the COVID is detained now, I think a lot of stuff will take place, and a lot of developments in GCC in general. Also, Qatar will come up very, very well as well. So,
yes.
In general, GCC who are on the radar right now is Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia has created also a department which is called STA, which is Saudi Tourism Authority.
Right.
They are responsible into bringing in tourists and position Saudi and market Saudi as a touristic destination through travel agencies, representation companies, media, bloggers, anything that can take place, which repositioning and make awareness, they are going to use it, which is great, which is really great. And they're in collaboration with everyone.
No, and that's what we've been seeing. And of course, COVID was, for us, we sort of lost track, and it weren't focusing as much on Saudi or what was going on in Dubai. Americans look at the Middle East and they see, sadly, the unfortunate developments in Israel and Palestine, and you see, Syria, you see Iraq. Americans, unfortunately, are familiar with Iraq. But what they don't understand is that in all of these other places, as you said, the GCC, the UAE, hotel development and business goes on. People are, we just keeps expanding like crazy. What would you say to Americans about how welcoming, these other areas are right now, and how business really takes place with, not just concerned about what's going on in the rest of the Middle East, but it's still going to go forward. Shadi, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, James, thank you for the question. I think I should start by actually giving the definition of the Middle East in general. Because we call it GCC, and Americans and the rest of the world sometimes call it Middle East. Not everything from wars or from challenges happening in the Middle East means that it's happening in Dubai or it's happening in Qatar. Let me just define what is GCC means. GCC is Gulf Council Community, which is there is 7 or 8 continents are in this GCC. So what is happening in Iraq, what is happening in Syria has nothing to do with GCC. Why? Because they're not in the circle of GCC community. Right. It is very sad, of course, and it's unfortunately what is happening right now in Iraq. It took place in Syria. It will continue, unfortunately, until there should be political reviews on that, and hopefully this will get sorted out. But for the Americans, if you want me to just convey a message, or for the Canadians or for Australians, for all these continents, GCC is completely different. You've got GCC means UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, and Egypt actually is not in the community. Saudi Arabia, of course, and Egypt. But Egypt is not in, but it's considered as a GCC, right? It's very safe. It's absolutely safe. Dubai is absolutely safe. You can walk around in the middle of the night. It's very secured. Cameras are everywhere. Very well maintained. Very civilized country. Saudi, the same. Qatar is the same. Very, very civilized country. Advanced. Everything is advanced over there. We are completely different. Now, what they see on TV also, unfortunately, we also don't want to fall into, not just the Americans, everyone. We don't want, obviously, to fall into the media, I would say, the media news, because not everything that you see on the news is correct.
Right.
I remember when there was a strike in Egypt, and I was back home on a holiday, and my mom called me and she said, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm in the Tahrir Square." She was like, "What are you doing there? I can see on TV strike." I said, "Mom, I'm in the middle of the square. It's empty." Right. So what you see is just something that is unbelievable. So I would say yes. Political reviews has nothing to do with tourism. Yes, you should obviously take care when it comes to travel, but in that area specifically, which is GCC, there's a huge difference. GCC countries are all safe. Oman, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, Yes, everybody is, and UAE, all are safe, 100%. Very hospitable people, very advanced countries. Malls are everywhere, very advanced mall, all international brands. It is very advanced countries. You have to visit.
Well, absolutely. And you are both off to the Arabia travel market in Dubai.
Correct.
So, Saeed, anything to add to that?
I mean, actually, just to add to Shadi notes, would actually totally agree with what he said. As I mentioned, myself, I'm living in 17 years in Saudi Arabia. My family is living in Cairo now. If I don't feel very safe in living in Saudi Arabia or in United Arab Emirates, I would not leave my family in Cairo and go and work in Saudi Arabia or in UAE. So I actually, even my family spent like almost 10 years with me in Saudi Arabia. They just moved back to Cairo last year because it's very secure. Even my wife, when she came back to Cairo, we are originally from Egypt, yes. But she said, Saeed, I really miss to be in Saudi Arabia back.
Okay.
I'm thinking to decide and go back to Saudi Arabia because it's very secure, it's very safe. The society, the people, and everything is very, very secure and very advanced, as Shadi mentioned. So there is nothing to worry about it in terms of people wanted to come from US to visit Saudi Arabia or to come from different places. I invite everybody actually to take these invitations and come to visit our country. Saudi Arabia is actually treating the people yes, I'm not Saudi national, but they're treating us very fairly, and they're very professional people. We have a very great relation between Egypt also and Saudi Arabia. So it's very secure. I invite everybody to come and visit Saudi Arabia.
No, absolutely. And that's the impression we're getting, and we're looking forward to getting there later in the year. Sort of final question, Shadi, is there anything else you want to get out to? We go out to travel advisors here in the U.S., especially those who specialize in selling luxury hotels around the world. Anything else you want to tell them about hotel developments and growth in the Middle East? Shadi?
I mean, so far, I would obviously encourage everyone to get the vaccine for sure, to have a liberty to travel, because there is a lot of development happening. We have actually signed also a very good luxury collection in the US, which is Laurenberger collection. They have 950 hotels, and now for us, it was a great win because we have a variety of 950 hotels now that we can expose and offer to our customers all over the world, not just in GCC. We can also offer in the clients or in the US and everywhere. We only cater for the GCC, obviously, but our platform is an international platform where you can find hotels. All the hotels are listed there. The advice that I would say, don't be scared to travel. Just get the vaccine. The coronavirus or the pandemic has been controlled. Yes, there is still cases, but you see, it's all about our behavior and our behavioral pattern toward the pandemic. Get the vaccine. I would encourage people not to ignore the vaccine. Get the vaccine so that you have liberty to travel and see the world and see what is going to happen and what developments are happening in the Middle East or GCC or elsewhere. So yeah, Absolutely. This is my message to the...
That's great advice, and it's to see the world and see the GCC countries as well. Saeed, anything to add in terms, what would you tell travel advisors here in the U.S. about your region and also the hotels, the luxury hotels that you have?
We would actually, myself, I actually used to work for an American company, which is Starwood Hotels and Resorts. So we look into America very deeply now in terms of actually having more hotels for our customer, because USA for Saudi Arabia, not only because of the relations and what's happening between both the countries for many, many years, but also people, they are actually considering USA as their summer holiday. And people spend a lot, more than 2 months in USA between California and LA and Washington, D.C. and other cities in
New York,
USA. So in USA, it's actually was the first choice for the Saudi people before the pandemic. And I think this will come back very soon after the corona, and they were looking also to have this summer to go to USA. But we are opening the border on 17th of May. They are only considering nearby cities or countries like, Bahrain, Egypt, and also Indian Oceans. So
it's kind of a test of the water,
US, Yes.
Now, interesting. So, yeah, well, certainly here in the U.S., we're ready to welcome back people as soon as it's looking better and better. New York is I was just in the city over the weekend, and things are looking very good. I think by the late summer, it's going to be fine. California, same way, So we'll see. We're very hopeful that international visitors will.
Yeah, I really miss New York. I'm a New Yorker as well. I've been in New York like 4 or 5 times, in LA and Vegas. I mean, the amount of tourists that I have seen from the GCC is really magical.
No,
I have seen a lot.
Hopefully they'll be back soon. Now,
sure.
Tell us a little bit where we can go to find out more about your company. What's the website?
Oh, we actually are on, you can find us on our website is, obviously, if you go to www.genovicboutiques.com, you're going to find us. You're going to find all our customers. We are also on LinkedIn as Genovic Boutiques. We have also an Instagram page, which is Genovic Boutiques. So we made at Genovic Boutiques in all our accounts or social media platform. So we're also on Facebook. So that would obviously wrap up with LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and obviously our main website. Where also, when you go to our website, if you have an inquiry, you have an email which is info. You can type the inquiry whether you want us to represent you, whether you are inquiring for something about our hotels or inquiring about any sort of business or sort of marketing, PR, or just have a question about Middle East. We will also be there. We'll answer it anytime. It goes to all the partners, and one of the team would obviously reply immediately.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank both of you for giving us some insight into what's going on in your region in the Middle East and in the GCC specifically. I should make that distinction, and Saudi Arabia, which is really fascinating to me, at least the development going on in Saudi Arabia. And I wish you the best of luck at the Arabian travel market. We'll probably have to have another interview after you get all your contacts there and find out what's going on and take the pulse of the region, especially as we're emerging from COVID. But it's been a fascinating discussion to hear your viewpoints on what is going on in hotel development in that region and other parts of the world. And obviously, we all want to go to the Maldives, right? So that's
anytime. Anytime. I just actually came there. Anytime. We are very happy. The hotels are brilliant that we represent. Really very good and all-inclusive concept. Amazing. Like really an experience on its own.
Well, we're going to be eager to see that. I hope to get out there, certainly by Dubai Expo time at some point, and maybe I'll just keep going to the Maldives because I'll need a rest after Dubai Expo, right?
Correct. Yeah. 6 months, obviously. So, yeah, definitely you would.
Listen, thank you again, and good luck.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, James.
And I'm James Shillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.